Probably not my best jabs there. Probably not my best. Let's get the show started. We got a lot to get into. Lakers over the Clippers. Sweep the 2-game set against the Los Angeles Clippers, 108-102. I kind of came in. The mic was in the way. I don't know. I guess I just wasn't as prepared as I should have been for that one. Another win for the Lakers. Second place in the Western Conference. Luka, phenomenal tonight. Dalton Knecht, phenomenal tonight. Let me get this also live on Instagram. I appreciate everybody hanging out. What the hell is going on with the Lakers? They just can't lose. I mean, they honestly, like, let me just simplify this here real quick. They've won 18 of their last 22 games. They're 17 games over 500. They're 11-0. They've won 11 games in a row against teams over 500. I was just listening to Billy Mack and Stu, and I was just listening to Luka with Trudell, so I was just kind of trying to get those last couple of things in before we got started. I don't think they have. The last loss they have, I'm going to look at the Lakers schedule here real quick, and they said it during the broadcast, but let me find the date. The last loss the Lakers have against a team over 500, we got to go all the way back to January 19th. That's the last time the Lakers lost to a team over 500. I think it was the first game at the Intuit Dome, and at least the first Lakers-Clippers game. I was at that game. That's the last time the Lakers have lost against a team over 500. What an incredible, incredible stretch here for the Lakers. Let me name off all the teams Lakers did beat over 500. I'll get into the game in just a second, but this is more than just about a game. This is the Lakers just playing unbelievable basketball. Such a phenomenal stretch here. Probably haven't played this well of a stretch since the Lakers got to the NBA Finals and won a championship back in 2020. These are all the teams the Lakers beat over 500 over this stretch. Let me just make sure here. Make sure on one thing. All right, here are all the teams that the Lakers have beat over 500. All right, let me dish these out to you. The Celtics, the Warriors, the Knicks, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Pacers, the Nuggets, the Mavericks, the Timberwolves, the Clippers, and the Clippers. 11 games in a row against teams over 500. And you go look at the standings. I told you guys yesterday, I put out a video, or maybe it was on Friday night, whichever one of the shows I mentioned. I'm like, guys, root for the Boston Celtics on Sunday. People are like, I'm not rooting for them. I'm like, all right, we'll root for them from 10 a.m. to 12:30. They beat Denver a little bit earlier today. And if you go take a quick snapshot of the Western Conference standings right now, OKC, the number 1 seed at 49-11. The Lakers, the number 2 seed at 38-21. They've won 6 games in a row, 8 of their last 10. Denver's got 22 losses. Memphis has 22 losses. Houston has 23 losses. And by sweeping the Clippers tonight in this 2-game stretch over the weekend, by sweeping them, the Lakers now have a 7-game cushion on the number 6 and the number 7 spot. So the Clippers and the Warriors both sit at 32-28. The point I'm trying to make is, at worst, Lakers are going to be a 5 seed by the time the regular season is done. And I know they got, obviously bigger thoughts in mind. And I know they want to be a number 2 seed. And I understand that this team is playing good enough right now where they could beat anybody in the NBA. But something to just kind of let that sink in for a quick second. By the time this season comes to a close, or by the time we get to mid-March or early April, we are not going to be talking about the Lakers in the play-in tournament. We're not going to be talking about how many wins you have to have in order to get out of the play-in tournament. No. The only conversation between now and the regular season is, do you have home court advantage in the first round? Do you have home court advantage for the first 2 rounds? So that's obviously going to be interesting. Matchups are going to be interesting, and it's just another W for the Lakers. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you to everybody hanging out. There's a lot, obviously, that we're going to get into the post-game show tonight, but I just wanted to at least start off with that, because it's not every time that, you watch a squad play, and I know for me, covering the Lakers for a long time, this is an incredible stretch that the Lakers are on right now. It's another game. I saw somebody just put in the chat. It's another game for the Lakers where they're holding another opponent that's 7 games in a row where they're holding opponents to 102 or below. Clippers scored 102 on Friday. Clippers scored 102 tonight. If squads are only putting up 100, 102, 105 points, you're going to win a lot of games. And 7 in a row that I mentioned that the Lakers have been able to do that, and 2 of them against the Clippers. A lot of angles to take on tonight's game. I'm going to start it off. For me, it's listen, there's a few different players that I could talk about. I could talk about the Lakers defense as well. I can certainly do that. But for me, I'm going to go straight to the bench, and I'm going to talk about Dalton Knecht first. So before I mention anything else, before I talk about what Luka was able to do, some of the role players for the Lakers, how Vando continues to really change things on the defensive side. Before I talk about any of those players, shout out to Dalton Knecht. Somebody that started the season out as a Laker and kind of took everybody by storm. Nobody really knew he was going to have this much success early on. And then he went about a 2-month stretch where he really struggled. Okay, hey, he's a rookie. It's going to happen. And then he got traded to the Charlotte Hornets. And then from there, it was just a matter of, okay, well, thank you for your time, but Lakers need a big. They need a center. Then he shipped back to L.A., and, most people were like, well, he's a professional, or he's got to be a professional. This is a business. Deal with it. Okay, people can go ahead and not be sympathetic. The man got traded right in the middle of the season from the Lakers to the Charlotte Hornets, and then flew to Detroit getting ready for a game, and Rob Pelinka called him, at least the way he described it, was like, you're coming back to L.A., and he flew back. That's all gone. It's all history, but it's impossible not to tell Dalton Knecht's story this year without also mentioning that. With that being said, what a really nice game for him. What a really, really nice game for Dalton Knecht. And to see him predominantly in that first half, whether it was spotting up for threes or sizing up other players, he went 7 of 10 from the field, 5 of 8 from the three-point line in a game that didn't have Austin Reeves, that didn't have Rui Hachimura. You just kind of thought to yourself, are there going to be potential opportunities for Goodwin didn't play in this one as well? Will Dalton Knecht get opportunities? And if he does, will he be able to have an impact? He had an impact. So shout out right out the gate to Dalton Knecht, because to me, I think that's the thing that really, really pay attention to. And I've said this before. I think a lot of people are rooting for him because of his predicament situation, the fact that he got traded. I love mentioning Dalton Knecht first. Here's JJ Redick.
Total relative to kind of current NBA, where what has been consistent here that you saw again tonight?
We just play hard. We compete. Tonight wasn't perfect with some of the execution stuff, but we more than made up for it with our effort at times. And frankly, I really liked what we did, in the half court when our defense was set. The turnovers once again hurt us. Scored 20 points off our turnovers. I think it wasn't a play that was more emblematic of our effort than when it was 93-88. I think there's 7-something to go. LeBron misses a 22-foot two-pointer. Vando gets the rebound. We get it back to LeBron. He misses a floater. Trey gets the rebound. We kick it back to LeBron.
It's a corner
He misses the 3 from the corner. Vando gets the rebound. We ended up getting it to Luka. Trey's over in the right corner. He pins in for LeBron. He hits that 3. I mean, that's, again, these opponents that we're playing, they're really good teams. They're fighting like we're fighting. These are playoff-like games just in terms of the physicality, the effort from both teams. And that play, I mean, I'm not sure they got closer than 5. I know there was, 5 right there at the end, but that was a massive play for us in a stretch where, look, we're having to play lineups just because of injuries. We're having to play lineups where we don't have a ton of shooting on the court, and teams are able to load up. They're reading everything. They're a top 5 defensive team. Like it's tough to score. So we talked again pregame about our effort offense, and that was a massive play.
There are things I think you can't know about players until you have them as a teammate or something like that. And you had kind of mentioned the importance of these Luka blackouts in Denver. I think he made 2 threes and was like instantly yelling at the Clipper bench. Dunn got a little bit of it later. Seemed like everybody pretty much on the court got some of that energy from him. Spiritually, what do you think that did for your team tonight, his sort of fire and intensity?
Yeah, I think the way he started the game got us going on that end. And then it just seemed like throughout the game, when we needed a bucket, when we needed him to draw a second, third defender at times, he was able to make the right play, minus the 6 turnovers. But he played fantastic tonight. And again, it was that verve and that spirit of competition, but also just something that is, maybe it's an inner demon, I don't know, but it comes out and it's fantastic for us when it does.
A clip circulated of you crediting Dalton Knecht for being a professional after the win on Friday. Tonight seemed like more than
talk to the Lakers about what they're putting out. Need approval on some stuff.
Tonight seemed more than professional. I mean, kind of a starring effort for you. Have you been able to get a sense of where Dalton's been at after everything that went down last month, and how do you envision his role as the season plays out? Yeah,
there was a lot of discussion early on when he first got back, not playing the first game, didn't want to put him in a tough situation for him. We then talked on Tuesday. We then talked the day before the All-Star break again, and it was very much like before that second game against Utah leading into the break. It was very much just let's just play basketball, and you're going to play, and I'm going to coach, and we've moved on from that. So I think each day it just becomes again more normal. Certainly the last 2 games I think help. Every player, look, we've all been there. Like, we all have this sort of perpetual belief in our ability. Everybody's confidence can wane, and you need that confidence to be reinforced by playing well. And he's done that the last 2 games. And it's obviously offensively, but he's done some good things defensively as well.
All right, stop right there. Keep the show going here. Appreciate you guys hanging out. This is going to be it's going to be a fun post-game show. Lakers obviously just keep balling out. They're playing some great basketball right now. By the way, something that JJ mentioned, I'll get into. There are definitely areas of the Lakers game where they could be a lot better. Some of their execution in that fourth quarter, really, really bad. The turnovers, those will hurt you. You do that in a playoff game, you're going to end up losing. A couple things I want to point out here. I saw a little bit of the comments, didn't get to see all of them. If you're a Clipper fan and you're in the comments and somebody's telling you to get off of the channel, go somewhere else. You don't have to go somewhere else. You could stay right here. Just give me, I see some of the comments saying Lakers are overrated. They're this, they're that. That's fine. That's okay. You can have comments like that. But give me context. Give me something I could work with. If you say, hey, Al, this team's not going to go that far if they commit this many turnovers, or if they do this, or they do that, or something like that, I could work with that. You say Lakers suck. I can't do anything with that. And they don't really suck right now. They've won 18 of their last 22 games. I saw somebody here. Sounds like salty Nuggets fans in the chat tonight. I don't care who's in the chat. I really don't. I hope as many people, I hope this channel grows to being more on top of having all the Lakers coverage that it has, but it's very NBA centric as well, where people just come in because they're NBA fans. But if somebody wants to demolish the Lakers tonight, give me some substance, give me something to work with, so then I go back and forth a little bit here. All right, we'll look at some of the comments here in just a second. But I do want to go back to a couple things JJ Redick just said, and let's move on. Let's hit on the Dalton Knecht thing here real quick. So, like I was saying, it's impossible to tell Dalton Knecht's story. I like what JJ said about. I'm not telling you that. I'm sure there's a lot of people that sympathized with Dalton Knecht because of his predicament, his situation. All right, hopefully that was far now enough removed. There's nothing you could do about it. Maybe the guy gets traded again this summer. The hell do I know? Would you be shocked if he gets traded in the summer? Of course not. But at the same time, you're here, you're a Laker. People can, you could look at this as an opportunity where people are going to start looking at you a little bit differently. It's like, even in that situation, even in that predicament, even on the Lakers where all the attention is on you, he still had success in his rookie year. So I think that part's important. But it was nice to see Dalton do what he did. Can we talk JJ here real quick? Because last time we talked JJ Redick, the NBA Coach of the Year odds, he wasn't even on that list. FanDuel put something out. This is still old. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't know how old these are. There's one. Yeah, I guess I'm not going to work with the one that I have. I was trying to find one that was more current, but I did this about, 3 weeks ago or so. And JJ now is on some of these lists. Of course he should be. I mean, what to me has made it most impressive tonight, and I saw a couple of people in the chat say, the fact that Norman Powell wasn't in this game really hurt the Clippers. You're not wrong. Norman Powell's a good player. He tried to give it a go, and then he subbed back out. But let me remind you who the Lakers didn't have tonight. Austin Reeves wasn't in this game. Rui Hachimura wasn't in this game. There have been a lot of players that have kind of come in and out of the lineup for the Lakers before the trade deadline, after the trade deadline. Lakers are just still winning games. Look, tonight, to me, I thought the Lakers, I think there were areas of their game where it wasn't pretty basketball. It wasn't perfect basketball. The turnovers, to have individuals, there was stretches there of LeBron that was really, really bad. Luka subbed out of the game. LeBron ended up with 8 turnovers. I thought too much dribbling. I thought there was not enough ball movement in that second half. I think Lakers were too predictable, specifically in that fourth quarter. Really kind of went away from a lot of the things that they do well. But I paused to criticize them at all because they found a way to get another win. And if you guys remember, Friday morning I was doing my show. And I was talking about how if you get a split with the Clippers, I'd be okay with that. I felt like that's a tough matchup. Rui wasn't in. You lose Austin Reeves 9 minutes into the first game against the Clippers. You get a split, and I would have taken that. They swept the Clippers over the weekend. They won both games against James Harden and Ty Lue and James and Kawhi Leonard. And I'm not telling you, I think one thing I noticed over the weekend in both of these games against the Clippers, they're going to have some trouble getting through the rest of the season as well. They're going to have some issues. And they got to obviously have Norman Powell. He's got to be there and he's got to be healthy, but they don't look impressive either. They don't look any different than what Minnesota is or what some of these other teams are kind of hanging around in the Western Conference. I think Phoenix, you might as well just put a nail in the coffin there. I don't even think Phoenix is going to make the play-in tournament. So they got blown out again. And I think they're 4 games in the loss column back of just making a play-in game. So that tells you everything you really need to know in regards to Phoenix. But Clippers got a long way to go too. They got a long way to go. I kind of watching them over the weekend, I did not walk away with nothing was impressive to me. Let's put it that way, of the Clippers. Nothing at all was impressive to me. Okay, let's get into some of your comments here. Let's get things started. I'm going to first shoot out on this one just because it's pretty cool. I got to be honest with you guys. It's pretty cool to kind of see what's been happening to this channel. It's very encouraging to me. It makes me really kind of believe in this vision that I have. Look at all these gifted memberships today. B gifts out 5 memberships. Anthony gives out 5 memberships. Luke comes out and gives out 5 memberships. We got a new member in Sukraj. Thank you for being a new member. Pretty damn cool to have a channel where it's been 2 weeks when I, started memberships, and it's $3 a month, just a heads up. And, obviously I've been promoting that I'm giving out some exclusive content or content that comes out before it gets released out into the public. And I already got over 200 people that are members, and I got a lot of people gifting out members. So just a quick shout out. I'm very, very appreciative that you guys are doing that. If you guys would like to become a member, I put a link in the channel there. But thank you for being kind enough to dish out members to other people. It really kind of makes this community as tight as can possibly be. So thank you for doing that. Luke, Anthony, B, thank you all for doing that. And Sukraj, thank you for being a member as well. Let's get to some of these comments here. Francis, this was supposed to be a scheduled loss. Great W. Yeah, I'm this to me goes this whole weekend. I think to me was I don't care how you win, just walk away with the W and kind of figure out the rest later. You guys know the saying, good teams find a way to win. Lakers are a pretty good team right now, and they're finding ways to win. I'll get into Luka, Vando, some of these other players in a quick second, but I want to keep reading the comments. Good teams find ways to win, and the Lakers have just been excellent. And little things that they're doing that are putting them in a position. Of everything that they're doing right now, I love that they can get stops. I love that if you're in a dogfight and it's Vando and it's Gabe and it's Dorian Finney-Smith and Trey Jemison III and throw Jackson Hayes in the mix, you got a lot of guys that play tough. You got a lot of guys that play really, really hard. So stylistically for the Lakers, that's something that I actually appreciate, I respect, and I enjoy watching. Forget the hit this three and LeBron with a fadeaway and Luka with a step back. Put all that to the side. Those all are style points. But to win games, you need some tough, gritty players that like to muddy the water. Lakers got some guys that enjoy doing that. Was it a perfect W? No. Was it certainly good enough to walk away and say, okay, hey, that's another win for the Lakers. They're now second in the Western Conference. Phenomenal. Francis, thank you for the super. Sam, how do the Lakers keep winning? I think, Sam, it's the stat that I think we threw out early. They can get stops. What did I want to see what Kawhi or what James Harden shot tonight. I know he was really bad on Friday, and I think he was really bad again tonight. Harden shot 4 of 14, was 2 of 9 from the field with 13 points. Do you know what Harden shot in the 2 games against the Lakers? I'm going to point out the last game on Friday, what he shot. Harden shot 5 of 22, 1 of 10 from the three-point line. So when I get the question, how do the Lakers keep winning? They can get stops. They can play defense. They got a really good head coach. They got 2 guys that could take over the game at any time. And they got a bunch of role players that are down to roll up their sleeves and do a lot of the dirty work. All right, let's get another one in here. Sam, thanks for the super. JJan 300. This team just keeps winning. No AR-15 and no Rui 2. Yeah, that's why I kind of go back to, if you really think about the Lakers, Gabe Vincent was in and out of the lineup. Vando has been around for a little over a month. Dorian Finney-Smith was traded to the Lakers and basically started playing in January. AD and Christie get traded and Luka comes over and they're, figuring him out. So many guys that are in and out and you're juggling so many different things that AR and Rui being out, which by the way are 2 starters. So anybody that complains, I saw some comments, well, it's because Norman Powell was out. Okay, well, what is Austin Reeves to the Lakers? What's Austin Reeves and Rui to the Lakers? That's 2 starters. I don't want to hear Norman Powell was out. Lakers have guys that are out too. But that's just as impressive as anything. It's the piece of, hey, I don't even know who's going to be in the game. And it seems like this has been the case for the Lakers for the last 2 months. And it doesn't really matter who's in the game. Lakers still find a way to win. All right, let's get some more comments in here. Eugene, LeBron's goal was the 50K points, not the W. Well, Eugene, if that was his goal, the 50K points, well, why didn't he get it? Well, I'll come back to that. I don't hear from Gabe Vincent very often. Let's hear from him.
how the game flow of the game was going, if Bron and Luka are on the court at the same time, if I need to touch the paint and spray, stuff like that. But for the most part, it was the game with more minutes for me.
What have you seen from Dalton, not just tonight, but the last game and kind of getting going? And tonight, obviously, it's some key shots.
Yeah, I mean, it's been small things for me with Dalton that he's been improving on a lot. You know, whether it's to talking on defense or the switches, and I think he's improved immensely in the last 5 to 10 games in those. And it's great to see him get hot and get out there and get the rhythm shooting from three like we know he can. So it's great to see him have some growth. It's great to see him get rewarded with a good offensive game amidst the growth.
And then JJ was talking about the coverages the teams play against Luka and how they're rarely going to go into drop. How do you kind of feel like you guys are evolving when teams are either blitzing him or switching everything? And what are some keys?
Yeah, I mean, he creates a lot of problems. You know, I think Bron alone creates a lot of issues. You add Luka to the mix and the way he can really shoot the ball and pick apart defenses. You know, we're kind of just reading and reacting. Teams are going to try to throw different things at them, whether it's a blitz or definitely not a drop. So we're just trying to stay ready to make our adjustments.
Just the nature of which you guys won these games against these top teams, a lot of it's been more on the defensive side. Does that provide optimism for what it'll look like when you guys do have that synergy offensively rolling and everyone's, I guess, rolling in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, late in the year, and you have to win some games in the mud. And I think we've had some games, some stretches here now to be able to test our grit, test our willingness to fight through a lot. And we've been doing that at a high level. So proud of the fight this group's been doing. We just need to keep it up.
All right. We'll stop right there. Keep rolling here. I want to get some more here. And if LeBron and we'll see who ends up talking, I'll get to him. Let me go back to Eugene's comment real quick here. LeBron's goal was a 50K point, not the W. Okay, let's talk LeBron here real quick. So LeBron tonight, what did he end up with? LeBron ended up with 17 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds, 8 turnovers. Way too many turnovers. Bad basketball on a lot of those turnovers. Just not good plays from LeBron. 6 of 17 from the field, 1 of 6 from the 3-point line. Let me just pay attention to this one comment here real quick. Do I think LeBron was trying to get to 50,000 points and get it out of the way? Yes. I did think that he was trying to get especially because all he needed was 18. Bron can get that in his sleep. But if you think Bron is more worried about anything other than winning, I mean, Lakers, they were up 20 in the second half. So there was a point where it looked like they were going to walk away with this W. But let me remind you of Bron as we still find ways to complain about Bron. 28 and 13 shot 57% in the game on Friday. 33 and 17 game against Minnesota shot 52%. Against Dallas, 27 and 12 shot 64%. Against Denver, 25, 9 and 5 shot 58% from the field. Guys, I got to be honest with you. Do I think Bron was trying to get to 50K tonight? Yeah, he probably was, because that's a pretty cool accomplishment. It looked like that wasn't going to be a problem. It looked like Lakers were going to get the W. I'm not complaining about Bron tonight. I'm just not. If you want to complain about the 8 turnovers, I'm in. Cool. No problem. 8 turnovers can happen. You guys know how good LeBron's been? Do you see how easily he's adjusted his game since Luka got here? Is LeBron being selfish and saying, this is my team, I run this team, give me the ball, everything goes through me? Or is LeBron saying, what does it take to win? Let's go try to get W's. They're second place in the West. They're winning basically night in and night out. They've won 18 of 22. They're beating really good teams in the process. And LeBron's been there every step of the way. AD's was there. Then AD got injured, and then AD got traded. Luka just got here. LeBron's been here the entire time. I understand. I've said this before. Some people they're going to find something to complain about with LeBron James, period. That's just going to come with the territory. That's fine. But as long as we could also just take a second and just think about what Bron has done this year for the Lakers. Think about what Bron has done this year for the Lakers. Think about it. Age 40, what he's doing every single night. Is he not showing up to work? Is he load managing? Is he deciding to not give 35 35 plus minutes a night, or is he there every single night at age 40 and still making it happen? People just find, and by the way, I don't even, the comment's fine. The comment can come in all day. If people have an opinion, go ahead and share it, but I'm going to share mine too. My opinion more than anything else is like, this man, it does not matter what he does or accomplish. People don't like him. They're going to find something to bitch about. If he doesn't have 8 turnovers, he has 3 turnovers. They're going to say something that he did. Well, he dribbles the ball at the top of the key too much. There's nothing I could do for you. There's nothing I could do for you. LeBron has been incredible this season. I would make the argument LeBron has been a top 10 player in the league. He's effing 40. He's still doing it. There's nights where Kyrie's on the floor, AD's on the floor, Luka's on the floor, Anthony Edwards is on the floor. He's still the best player on the floor. That wasn't the case tonight. Can you not have a bad night? Can you not have a bad night at age 40? His team's second place in the Western Conference. If the Lakers were 11th and Bron was doing this every single night, and it didn't look like LeBron had the best interest of what was in the team, and Luka got traded to the Lakers and there's some friction there, and LeBron is saying everything's got to run through me, it's a different conversation. Instead, LeBron got here. He said, here are the damn keys. I've been waiting. When you need me, let me know. That's the way I view LeBron so far this year. All right, let's take a look here. Top 10, what are you smoking? He's top 5 at minimum. Maybe he's top 5. Maybe top 5. You guys go ahead and rank the players wherever you want. All I'm saying is, if you're having a conversation about an NBA player at age 40 and the argument is he's not top 10, he's top 5, he must be doing something right. He must be doing something right. All right, let's keep going here, and I'm going to keep an eye out just in case somebody else talks. Again, I don't mind the comments. If you guys disagree with me, it's okay, but just know that, of course, if I've got an opinion on something, I got to give you guys my opinion too. Anthony, Slee, are the Lakers for real? Why are my hopes so high? You know, it's funny. When they went up 20, let's catch a little DFS here real quick. I'll come back. We'll go late tonight. It's fine. Who's going to turn me off?
Guys, been taking the challenge. Coach has been doing a good job of getting us ready and, giving us the test, giving us the answers to the test, and we've been executing.
What does it say about you as a team? Maybe talent, depth, whatever it might be, that you won tonight without 2 starters and a rotation player?
Just show you how deep we are. It's next man up. Like I said last game, that's just part of playing 82 games. People going to get hurt. Next man got to step up and do his job.
You guys are number 2 in the West right now. 23 more games to go in the regular season. But how much do you value the idea of finishing there or higher going into the?
We just got to keep stacking days. Whoever team, I feel like is hot and healthy. Do a good job in the postseason. So we just got to stay healthy, get them guys back on the court, and just keep stacking games and getting to know each other as a team.
What do you see LeBron and Luka play off each other?
Man, sometimes I get caught watching and I don't be ready to shoot. Mondeuse was on my ass yesterday in the last game. She said I left some bullets, and I said I couldn't bring my gun to LA. I'm just playing. Nah. But today, I came out, ready to shoot, and them guys just took over after that.
How do you guys feed off Luka's intensity? Clearly, that first quarter, he was ready to go, and it seemed like he was chirping a little bit, maybe energize you guys.
Oh no, he I know he ready to. That's what he do. Especially when he get going, but. He trying to find himself, find a shot. If he made some shots tonight, got us up 20, and then, they battled back, but we came together in the game and finished. It probably could have got it over with quicker, but sports and entertainment, we like to make it entertainment.
All right, that's DFS right there. Dorian Finney-Smith. They're showing you guys can actually see this right here. They're showing the standings right here on Spectrum. So Lakers 38-21, 10.5 back of the Thunder. Thunder obviously locked up the number 1 seed, but that's it. You're now playing 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lakers are not falling to 6. That it's over. A 7-game lead. Basically, what the Lakers are fighting for now is: do you have home court in the first round? Do you have home court for the first 2 rounds? And who are you going to play? That's a real cushion between 2 and 6. So basically, 2 through 5 is fighting, 6 through 10 is fighting, and nobody's fighting with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kind of everything's clumped together right there. So something to point out there. DFS. By the way, Thickety, thanks for mentioning that he was on. I appreciate you doing that. I got to go back to a comment that we were getting ready to get into. Let me find this here real quick from Anthony. Let me just say this real quick on Dorian Finney-Smith. You know, I remember when the trade happened, and I'm not telling you DFS has been perfect for the Lakers. I'd really like to see his 3-point shooting go back up a tick. I mean, he was almost 45% when he was in Brooklyn. He had 11 points tonight, had 4 rebounds, but a plus 24 in the plus minus. He's obviously thrown in the starting lineup right now. Gabe was thrown in as well because of the injuries to Rui and to Austin Reeves. But let me just say this real quick on Dorian Finney-Smith. I remember when that trade went down, and I got really excited about it. And I got excited about it for a couple of reasons. I wasn't a big D'Lo fan, and stylistically, I want a player like this over a player like D'Angelo Russell, because I just think once you get closer to the playoffs or the grind of an 82-game season, you need players like Dorian Finney-Smith. Every squad needs a player like Dorian Finney-Smith. Lakers got a few of those guys. You know, if Gabe Vincent could be anything of what he was back in the Miami days and the contract that the Lakers signed, you want a guy like that in the playoffs. Jared Vanderbilt, you want a guy like that in the playoffs. DFS, you want a guy like that in the playoffs. So I don't think it's a coincidence that you got a couple scrappy guys like that. All of a sudden, the identity of your team is kind of changing right in front of you. Let's go back to what Anthony said. So Anthony said, Slee, Lakers for real. Why are my hopes so high? So I had a moment during the game. Lakers went up 20. And I'm like, I'm watching the game actually on my laptop. And my girl's watching something else on TV. And I tell her, I'm like, I think the Lakers are freaking really good. Now, she also does not give a rat's ass about sports, period. But I'm like, I think they're really good. And the reason why I said that, I'm like, I've had my hesitation about the team as well. And I've had my hesitation because I'm like, you need size. You got to have bigs. They're also trying to put this team together with, you got such limited amount of games to figure this thing out. So I think it's natural to have hesitations. And I think if there's still people out there that have hesitations on the Lakers, that's okay. I think it's fair to still sit there and say, okay, well, you know, can they keep this thing up? But I'll tell you why you should be excited or why your hope should be up on this team. They're really, really well coached. They have 2 superstar players that once you get into the playoffs, you need superstars to be superstars. And damn, do they have a ton of role players that are okay at playing their role. It's a pretty good combination there. I'm not going to play it today. I'm going to play it tomorrow when I'm doing my show at 8 a.m. I mean, I got to have some content for tomorrow. But when I'm on tomorrow, Kevin Garnett has a podcast. I think it's called KG Certified. And I don't know if he always does it with Paul Pierce, but times he does it with Paul Pierce. There's a clip I'm going to play tomorrow. I saw it today this morning when I was watching a little bit of Denver and Boston, and then I was just kind of scrolling through some things. Listening to them talk about Luka and LeBron in the playoffs and this Lakers team, how could I not be sold that the Lakers can be a legitimate threat to represent the Western Conference or to come out of the West? I mean, let me tell you this. Certain things that you look for, and I'm sure a lot of people that are on this channel have been watching basketball for a long time. There's certain things you look for that you say, okay, is this fugazi? Is it not real? Or can you actually believe that, no, I think they have the characteristics to be a team to watch out for? Do you have superstars? Yes, they got 2 of them. Do you have experience? Yes. They got guys that one guy just got to the NBA Finals. It has been to the Western Conference Finals before. LeBron's about to drop. His next point is going to be his 50,000th point in his career. You can't have any more experience than that. Do you have guys that like playing their role? Yes, they all play their role. Can your team play defense? I already mentioned to you guys, they have a stretch here where they're number one defense in the NBA, or they're in categories where OKC and Cleveland are just in those categories as well. Can you beat good teams? They've won 11 games in a row against teams over 500. If a player is out, can you have another guy jump in? Clearly, they've been doing that. How's your head coach? JJ Redick seems like he's doing a pretty good job. Anthony, I went on a rant here on your comment, but I think there are a lot of reasons to think I think this team is for real. And, hopefully the idea is the more time that they get together, the more, obviously the more continuity they get. Here's Luka.
I think he's a true professional. Some days I think one the game he didn't play, and next game he showed up, and that's all professional. Especially being a rookie in LA, it's not easy, and he's been doing this since I've been here. So I'm glad we have on our team.
You mentioned that you've been battling the Clippers, obviously from the bubble. Todd on a lot of different coverages at you over the years. How have you seen that matchup evolve with the Clippers over the years since your rookie year?
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be. I remember last game there was only one coverage of me. But, it's like I always say, it's like playing the chess a little bit. You got to read the defense and take what the defense give you.
You said that, this stretch that you were out with the calf was the longest you've missed in the NBA. Having experienced an absence that long for the first time, how's the return been in terms of rust? And, has it been tougher than you thought? What would have been some of the challenges you've dealt with?
Yeah, it's been – I've been long – throughout my whole career, as long as I've been out. So I didn't expect that much rust, you could see in the first couple games. But now this is getting better. But I obviously didn't expect it.
Luka, felicidades. 29 puntos, 6 asistencias, y ahora el equipo está en el segundo lugar en el oeste. Para ti, muchos dijeron que no te ibas a adaptar rápidamente con LeBron y el equipo, pero le has demostrado a todo el mundo que está funcionando. ¿Qué es lo que ha funcionado para que puedan tener esa buena condición?
Sí, creo que todos estamos en la misma página.
I need a translator.
Creo que todos nos llevamos bien.
Come on, help me out.
Sé que estoy poco tiempo aquí, pero la química está muy bien. Así que tenemos que seguir así jugando.
Final one.
What ways have you and LeBron tried to make things easier for each other so far?
Sorry? Yeah.
In what ways have you and LeBron tried to make things easier for each other, just in terms of the chemistry and all that?
I think just play the way we play, the way we both play. Get other people involved. They're gonna give you depends on which coverage. Take what the defense gave you, but it's just playing who we are.
I know you mentioned it's a chess match with the Clippers, but you're telling them to get up on you, giving too much space. Like, is it a little more with this team, given that you guys have such a history of playoff battles and regular season battles?
Maybe obviously, we went back and forth a lot. With the Clippers, and that's what I like. For me, that's fun, and that's how I get going, especially in the basketball court.
All right, we'll keep things rolling here. Luka tonight, by the way. Luka, what do you end up with? We'll look at his stats. 29, 9, and 6. Finally had actually one of his better shooting performances. Best shooting performance. I think one of the better shooting performances he's had at Crypto, at least. Obviously, he was excellent against Denver, but kind of that first half really just dominated for the Lakers. 29, 9, and 6. Does it still feel like a trip? By the way, had 5 threes, 5 of 12 from the three-point line. Does it still feel weird having Luka on this team, or is it just me? Because there are times where I'm just like, what was Dallas doing? I think people are going to have that reaction for a very, very long time. What was Dallas doing? And this is coming from somebody that told you, I think Dallas has got a squad, but they got to be healthy. All right, let's take a look at more of these comments here. Bro, light bulb coffee. Thought you gave it up. Starting tomorrow, guys. I'm doing no coffee for Lent. No coffee. Not going to be easy, guys. It's not going to be easy. But sometimes you just got to do it. You got to make it happen. All right, let me get another one here. John, Lakers are willing themselves to victories. Not perfect, just winning. John, that is a simple comment, and I think actually says a lot right there. They're not playing perfect basketball. I mean, listen, Denver, they played perfect basketball. But some of these other games, Dallas was too close. Should not have been that close. Minnesota was probably too close, especially because Anthony Edwards got thrown out of the game. But I thought these two against the Clippers, I did think that it didn't really matter how you won the game. Did you walk away with two W's? And you did. You ended up winning 3 out of 4 against the Clippers. Like I said, basically, you're locked top 5 in the Western Conference. The Lakers are locked top 5 in the Western Conference. So just keep that in mind as that conversation continues, because it's kind of it's a relief in one way, and it's kind of a trip to think about. It's like, oh yeah, no, they don't have to worry about any of that other stuff. They are a locked top 5 seed. They only have a handful of games left, less than 25 games left. And you have a 7-game cushion in the Western Conference in regards to that. You're not playing the Clippers again. I know Golden State can creep up, but who's going to make up that much ground, especially the way the Lakers are playing? Northborough AES, thank you for the super. John, thank you for the super, by the way. Northborough AES. LeBron tends to do badly on milestone games. Here's a good thing. They got the win, and he'll get it in the next game, and then that's that. Guy's about to get 50,000 career points. You know how stupid that sounds? You know how crazy that sounds there? Northborough, appreciate the love there. Let's get another one in here. Rock your Joshua. This is great coaching. 3 key rotational players out, and our best player has an off night with JJ, and our high motor D guys, we can win any game. Yeah, I just hope, and I think it's starting to happen. To be honest with you, I don't think it's something that you really got to worry about, but sometimes I feel like somebody might not be getting the love they should be getting. I feel like now you start seeing some of these broadcasts out there, nationally televised games, ESPN, TNT. There's a lot of love going to JJ Redick, and there should be. I'm not trying to blow smoke up anybody. The guys, I'm going to go back to, if I told you at the beginning of the season, we're going to be sitting here in the month of March, the first game in March, and this is the position the Lakers are in, Western Conference, second place, this much of a cushion, 17 games over 500, beat this many teams over 5. I mean, coaching matters. Coaching is very, very important. It matters. JJ's been a phenomenal coach this year. Rocky, thank you for the super here. Let's get another super in here. Brian Simpson. Brian, thank you, brother. I appreciate the 10th spot there. Very, very nice of you. Longtime listener. Thanks for everything, Slee. Love to see this team develop, getting better every game, and who knows how high our ceiling is. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good point there. And I think the question of how high the ceiling is, I don't think we know. I don't think anybody really knows, but I think, listen, if you're Memphis right now, do you want Lakers in the first round? If you're Houston right now, are you not saying to yourself, hey, I'd really prefer to avoid the Lakers in the first round? I'm sure Memphis and Houston would rather play each other than to have Lakers in the first round. If you're the Clippers right now, you want the Lakers in the first round? I mean, if the playoffs started today, let's just pretend here for a second, it'd be Lakers Warriors in the first round. I think there's a lot of teams that would prefer not to play Lakers in the first round because of the LeBron Luka factor. Brian, thank you again for the 10th spot, and thank you for being a longtime listener. I appreciate you, brother. All right, let's get some more in here. All right, let's get some comments in here that nobody wants to play the Lakers this year. No AD hate, but come on. We're talking Luka here. AD is a very low motor. Luka's complete opposite. He's shit-talking opposing teams, just different. You know, and I'm sure I'm probably jumping into this a little bit different. There's a reason why when that trade went down, it was so one-sided. And, you know, I remember having Michael Thompson on a couple days later. He came on my show, and we were talking about it. And Michael's like, you know, everybody's disrespecting Anthony Davis. I'm like, Michael, they're not disrespecting AD. It's just a 25-year-old Luka. You know what I mean? It's a 25-year-old Luka. That's who he got traded for. And listen, I've said this before. I said it earlier in the show. If the Dallas Mavericks are healthy, that's a tough out in the playoffs, period. They got a nice team. I like the way their team looks. But do you think Luka, do you think Rob Pelinka is going to get any cold feet of like, oh my God, I should not have made that trade? Of course he's not. That's not going to happen here. Let's get some more comments in here. Alex says, Sliwa, Knecht finally engaged. Can you touch on that? Yeah, listen, I don't know what's changed. I don't know if anything's changed specifically. I just, you know, I'll say that what I said earlier. I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he was able to have a couple games like this where, hey, I see a couple shots go in. I feel like I'm back on the team. I think fans are they're like dying to cheer for him because of his predicament, his situation, and how good he was earlier in the season. So, I mean, he's got a lot of people on his side. It's just a matter of, you know, obviously how he plays and go from there. You know, Spectrum spent a lot of time, as they should, on Jared Vanderbilt. I probably didn't spend enough on it. But Vando tonight, 8 points, 9 rebounds. I didn't talk enough about him. Plus 10 in the plus minus for Vando. You know the highest plus minus tonight? Dorian Finney-Smith, plus 24. Luka, plus 19. Tells you a little bit about some of these guys' contributions. All right, let's get some more in here. Let's keep going here. Where did I leave off? Mitch Potter says a lot that a 40-year-old, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Fans complain and consider it's a bad game. He wants to win. He cares. This was a conversation we were having a little bit earlier. Mitch, I appreciate the 5 spot here, and Mitch has been very nice to dishing out memberships as well, so I appreciate him doing that. Well, it's funny because I don't know, Mitch, it might have been you, but Lakers went back-to-back. If you guys remember, they played Thursday and Friday. If I gave you the stats of his 2 games, Thursday and Friday, and again, this is, I think it was Mitch that mentioned it. It was during Friday's post-game show. This is what he did in a span of 24 hours. 61 points, 20 rebounds, 9 assists. That's what he did over those 2 games. So I get it. Some people just, you know, they don't want to give love, or they don't want to appreciate something. That's fine, but I'm going to obviously disagree with it. Mitch, thank you for throwing the super in there. David, doesn't it seem like we're a lot better team with Luka rather than AD, or is it just me, my imagination? Elaborate, please. I think there was a couple things going on with AD. First off, I think, you know, any GM out there would rather have Luka than AD, but that's only because Luka's a top 5 player when he's at his best. I think there's probably a little exhaustion with this team as well. It's kind of been, you've been working with the same ingredients now for 6 years, and you did win a championship, but it was 5 years ago. And it's like you need some new flavor in your dish. And the Lakers got some new flavor with Luka, and I think it also it changes the way LeBron has to play. Listen, I don't want to get this twisted. Anthony Davis is a phenomenal player. He's a brilliant player. I really enjoyed watching Anthony Davis play over the years, and to see what he was able to do and how successful he was with the Lakers and everything else. But at the end of the day, and I thought AD was going to be the one that they handed the keys to and said, all right, we got to go find another star as equally as good as, what Anthony Davis is. But they obviously rolled away from that. They went away from that because Luka was available. Yes, they'll be better with Luka, but I don't think I'm trying to take anything away from Anthony Davis. And frankly, actually, to be honest with you, I thought with AD, they'd probably go further this year just because the team made more sense the way it was constructed, but I'm starting to lose a lot of belief in that. Here's Dalton Knecht.
What's it like playing with Luka?
Easy. Super easy. Makes life easy on the offense, getting wide open shots for everybody.
Now that you've had a little bit of a chance to see it up close and personal, like what parts of his game stand out to you versus like watching him as an opponent?
Obviously the shot making's crazy, but knowing where guys are at even when he's not looking at them, playmaking, making those passes, and they're usually always on target. So he just makes it super easy for everybody on the offensive end.
There have been moments this year, Dalton, where you guys have been able to get the crowd into games with your shot making. You've done it a bunch of times. You did a little bit tonight, but I think at the end of the second quarter, they went 7.5 minutes without a point. You guys have had these stretches defensively here over the last 2 months where you've created energy and offense that way. What's changed, do you think, for this group on that side of the ball? And does it feel like an every night thing now for you guys?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's one of our things is trying to be very consistent on the defensive end and executing our game plan, and then that leads to easy transition buckets for us, and we just try to feed off of our crowd.
What jumped out you with the two-man game that LeBron and Luka forged?
You said what?
What jumped out you as far as the two-man game that LeBron and Luka come together?
I would say it's just easy. The two, especially when those two are out on the court, they get everybody wide open shots, or it's always usually a bucket. So, having those two on the court together is fun to watch.
All right, that's Dalton Knecht, which, by the way, is nice to kind of hear from some of these players we don't always get to hear from. So something to keep in mind in that front. Okay, a couple other things I want to do here, and then I also want to read some more of your guys' comments. Before I do so, I want to give a quick shout out here. I've told you guys about a partnership with Brad Wallace and the Wallace firm. Proud partner, our first partner on my official YouTube show, where this is basically what I'm doing now Monday through Friday, obviously on the weekends as well. Brad Wallace was somebody that used to advertise with me back when I was on 710, kind of followed my career and thought I would be a good partnership of doing reads for him and representing his company. And here I am now on YouTube 100%, and he's joining along for the journey as well. So I'm very appreciative of him. I want to tell you guys a little bit about his business, how he could potentially help you. I hope you never need him, but life happens. And if it does, if you or someone was in a serious injury, you should reach out to Brad Wallace. Let him walk you and your family through your legal options. I'm sure it's a very intimidating and daunting process. Let an expert in the field help you. He can help anyone in the state of California, so something to keep in mind. I'm happy to make an introduction. I can always make a personal introduction if somebody's more comfortable with that. But we also have a URL here where you can fill out the form, get a free consultation. It's wallacewins.com/Sliwa, wallacewins.com/Sliwa. Again, if you or someone close to you has been seriously injured or is dealing with the loss of a loved one, you should find out what legal options that you have. You deserve the absolute best in the business, and that's Brad Wallace from the Wallace firm. Him and I were texting before the game. He actually went to the game tonight. He's somebody that's also just a big fan, supporting the channel because he wants to see this channel take off, and it really, really helps having partners that are part of the channel. So I appreciate his partnership, and if you guys, like I said, can use his services, let me know, and I'll be happy to make an introduction. All right, let's keep things moving here. I know we still got a lot of comments to get into. Let me point out a couple things here because we're about to hit the 1 hour mark, and I don't want to go too far over an hour as I do got my show coming up tomorrow morning, but we'll keep going here for a little bit longer. Okay, so next game for the Lakers, something to keep in mind on this. Next game for the Lakers is on Tuesday. So Lakers kind of in an interesting spot here because I thought this stretch was going to be a tough stretch. Nuggets, Mavericks. I know Mavericks aren't completely healthy. Anytime you're playing the Timberwolves, 2 against the Clippers, I just thought, okay, you know, they could certainly run into some trouble here. Well, they haven't. They've won 6 in a row. So now looking at the Lakers schedule and just seeing some of the games that they have coming up, they play the Pelicans on Tuesday. 7:30 game. Could that be a trap game? Could that be a game if they're not ready, they're not prepared, they don't come out with, you know, I guess you can call it just if they feel like they just got to show up to work. New Orleans is not good. They are 17-44 overall, but they do have some of their guys back, and they're playing about 500 ball here over the course of the last 10 games or so. Still got Zion, still got CJ McCollum, you still got, you know, Trey Murphy III. You still got some players. You still Jose Alvarado, you know, some of their guys that are on their team and that are actually healthy. I just hope the Lakers don't take that game for granted, because that could easily be a game. It's before the Knicks game. You got Boston after that. It's the 5th game of a 6-game homestand. So I hope they don't get trapped in that, you know, Pelicans game coming up. But that is the next game that the Lakers got coming up. So something to keep in mind from that perspective. Already told everybody that, you know, number 2 in the Western Conference now. That's where the Lakers are sitting. So obviously a big-time moment for the Lakers to be in that regard. Okay, let's take a look at some more of your comments here. Let's keep going here. And, yeah, so Bron will not be talking, FYI. At least if he did talk, I didn't see it. Let's see if Instagram's got any comments here. Exactly. We did this with 2 starters out. I mean, this team was playing as if it was, because it's 2 starters out. This is huge. We are deep, and the defense is top-notch. That's Gerald Cause on Instagram. It's a good point. I'm with you on that. I think there's something to that, you know, and I think it's the reason why I keep making that point. It doesn't really matter who's in the lineup, who's out of the lineup. I mean, hell, there was a game where Luka and LeBron sat. If you guys remember that game, that was against the Pacers, and Lakers still won. That's a game where Reeves went off for 45. Rui played really well. Let's get another one here. Lakers' depth is much more impressive than it seemed a few weeks ago. Good point. Remember how they kind of panicked and got Alex Lynn? Now they just got guys that are, yeah, let me put my construction hat on and let me go to work. Instagram, I appreciate a couple of the comments you guys put up there. Let's get some more of these comments in here. Mitch, thank you for the super. Bron got 1,000th career win tonight, 4th all time. Every day it seems like he's doing, you know, another record is coming off. 22 years in the league, that's obviously going to happen. JD the Builder, thank you for putting that in there, brother. I appreciate it. Oh, this is a good one in here. JD had put this earlier. I had started. I've historically been a Bron hater, but the guy has been fantastic. I don't care if people hate. I don't care if people say, you know what, I don't like his political position or this or whatever. That's fine. You're entitled to all that. But as long as you can kind of step aside from that for a quick second and just say, well, even if I don't agree with him here, or even if I don't agree with him there, yeah, that dude's a baller. And you can give credit where credit's due. I think that's all I'm asking for. JD, I appreciate the super. Mitch, I appreciate the super. John, Slee, I love the Laker team. Scrappy, tough. John, thank you for the super, brother. I think that's why a lot of people like this team right now. They like them because it's not just the LeBron and Luka show. They like them because, yeah, they got an identity. They play tough. They play hard. So I think for a lot of those reasons is why a lot of people also like watching this team play. Yeah, we rushed into the Alex Lynn pickup. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I remember I did a video when Alex Lynn signed, right? Like, Alex Lynn, officially a Laker. And I put it out. And it got a lot of views. And I just sat back there. I'm like, for Alex Lynn? Guys, I don't even know if the guy's going to get PT. Shows you the interest in Lakers basketball, I'll tell you that much. Need Jordan Goodwin back. Who knows? Who thought we'd have been saying that a couple months ago? I agree with you on that. He's a good player. JF Slee, don't forget to lock up crypto in your league. No problem, brother. I got it. I got it. Got everything. I put like the chain on the fence. You know what I'm talking about? You get the chain on the fence and you kind of lock it a couple times. I like go through the fence a couple times and then I walk out. So I do it when I leave. Oz, Alan Sliwa at gmail.com. I've told people it before. If you need to reach out, I know some people try to reach out with ideas, this, that. Anybody can feel free to do so. So that's my email address. Okay, couple more quick shout outs here. Aiko, thank you for being a member, brother. Appreciate you very, very much. Oz, thank you very much for being a member. Lakers Town, thank you very much for being a member. I already gave some shout outs a little bit earlier. Luke gifted 5 memberships. Anthony gifted 5 memberships. B gifted 5 memberships. Sokra, thank you for being a member. Appreciate all you guys being members. Thank you very much for doing so. It's a phenomenal way to support the channel. I'll put a link there if you guys have any interest. Okay, now for all those that said, oh, Slee's not going to do roll call. You guys remember that? Oh, I saw in those comments. Slee's not going to do roll call. Let's do some roll call. Let me know where you're tuning in from. City, the state, the country, wherever the hell you are in the world. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We'll give you guys some love here. I appreciate everybody being a part of the show. If you guys have yet to subscribe to the channel, if you can take 2 seconds to subscribe to the channel, I greatly appreciate that as well. Roll call, shout out, Slee. Oh, no, I saw the comments. I saw the comments. I saw the doubt in people's eyes. I don't like doing it every show. I like to kind of, let's give it a second here. Do roll call. And then I had people yelling at me. Okay. Cincinnati, Ohio. Thank you for being a part of the show. Temple City. Rochester, New York. Menifee in the house. John Ferris, good man right there. Thank you for being a part of the show. University of Newcastle, Australia. You know what's cool? Every time I do roll call, damn, Laker fans. Freaking everywhere. Colorado in the house. Burbank. Very underrated airport there. Vegas in the house. Haterville, Oklahoma. I don't know what's going on there. Milwaukee, thank you for being a part of the show. Akron, Ohio. Manila, Philippines. Austin, Texas in the house. Anaheim. Thank you for being a part of the show. Cal State Fullerton in the house. The Utes, Utah in the house. Edmonton, Alberta. Thank you for being a part of that show. South Bay 310. Vancouver, Canada in the house. Look at Canada rolling in here. Diamond Bar, thank you for being a part of the show. Liberty Station, San Diego. That's a good area of SD. That little Point Loma area. That's a nice area of San Diego. I appreciate the invite, huh? Pittsburgh in the house. Utah, Fremont, California, Austin, Texas, Mexicali, Mexico. Gustavo, thank you for being a part of the show. Sylmar, North Hollywood, Nashville, Salt Lake City. You haven't done roll call. I did roll call 3 games ago. All right. Now we're arguing. Cushville, California. Thank you for being a part of the show. What do you make of the matchup versus Boston? Oh, I love that matchup. That's the barometer game, right? Remember we talked about that? We got barometer games. There's another barometer game coming. Vietnam, thank you very much for being a part of the show. Athens, Greece, thank you very much for being a part of the show. Sacktown in the house. Vancouver in the house. Camelback Ranch, Arizona. Okay, now I know what's going on here. Okay. Koreatown. Monrovia and Farmers Market off Myrtle. Okay, we're getting details there. Alicio, Fontana, thank you very much for being a part of the show. All right, if I miss you guys, the 909. Colorado Springs in the house, but originally from San Diego. Ray, you go right to the front of the line. Right to the front of the line. Mexicali border. Okay. Pittsburgh, Echo Park. Thank you for being a part of the show. Milwaukee in the house. I appreciate everybody being a part of the show. If I miss you, try to get it in here at the end because I probably miss some. Minneapolis, 32nd Street, Naval Base. Thank you, brother. Roderick, we appreciate your service, brother. Thank you. College Station, Texas. Oh, people are getting hyped up about that game coming up on Saturday night. They still got other games before that. So let's get them through. San Clemente, thank you for tuning in. Seattle, great area. Woodland, California. Thank you for being a part of the show. Sugarland, Texas. Let's get them through this week before obviously before they get to get through the Pelicans. The Knicks games, I think, is going to be a tough game, and then the Lakers will get a shot against the Boston Celtics over the weekend. All right, Trinidad and Tobago. Psst, how cool is that? Emerald City, Surprise, Arizona, Anaheim, California, Moore Park, Costa Mesa. All right, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Bangkok in the house. Thank you very much for tuning in. East LA, thank you very much for tuning in. All right, my people, I am back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Tomorrow I'm going to have BT join the show. Brad Turner covers the Lakers and the Clippers for the LA Times, so the timing of having him on is going to be perfect. Show starts at 8 a.m. BT's going to come on at 8:30. We'll shoot the you-know-what, and then talk some Lakers basketball. I do got some NBA topics I want to get into. There's some specific Matthew Stafford sign, things along those lines. So we got a lot to get into tomorrow. If you can be a part of the show tomorrow, would love to have you guys on the show in the morning. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for supporting the channel. Lakers over the Clippers, 108-102. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody. We will see you guys tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Thank you, everybody.